like that. 1, 2.
Shopping with a gun. You just wow, baby.
Alright, y'all. Episode 2 of the Frankenstein engine build. Welcome back to Cherezian Racing. I'm Ryan as always. And on this Thirsty Thursday, I'm starting the episode number 2 on the Frankenstein build. Drinking a little bit of Cherezian Racing Thirsty Thursday special. That is Jack and Pepsi. Coke says be less white. I say drink less Coke. That's what I'm doing. But I'm going to do the same thing on this episode or this entire engine build, and that is I'll build the thing over a 0.12. And if you guys didn't watch the first episode of this engine build here, the Frankenstein build, number 1, what the hell are you doing? And number 2, I'm not going to explain what I did. You just have to go back and watch it. And if I was a really smart YouTuber, which I'm not, I'd be like, oh, click the link up here in the top of the screen on video number 1. I don't know how to do that shit. It's enough for me to just get these damn videos out and edited on the internet for you guys to watch. So I feel like if you're watching on your phone or your computer right now, you probably are tech savvy enough to go back and watch one episode prior. Go watch it. But a 1,000,000 foot flyover, real quick, what this thing is, it's a budget build of a lot of goodies I had in the shop. Small block Chevy 350 010 block, stock crank, stock connecting rods, ARP upgraded rod bolts, TRW pop-up pistons, and the only thing I've done to the motor since the last episode is I slapped the oil pump on, oil pan, timing chain, and obviously the timing cover and the harmonic balancer. Nothing worth filming, but I did do it at a 0.12 or above, I guarantee you that. And right now I'm putting the lifters in, and they're a used set of lifters that were matched to this camshaft. Kind of a funny story here on this camshaft. It was actually in the Super Truck motor. I mean, the car was complete when I bought it as turnkey. It had a 383 in it, and it had this camshaft and these lifters, and that was actually back in 2014, and that motor only lasted like 4 races. I just was like, all right, I'll run this motor until it blows up, and it only lasted 4 races and it blew up. It was nothing fancy. It's a 383 with small block Chevy 400 stock heads on it. They're garbage, but it had this nasty cam in it, so it was decent on power, just not like, you know, that great. It just had a lot of torque because it was a bigger cubic inch motor, a 383. But it's a comp cams 305H grind, and basically what it is, it's a 525 thousandths lift on the intake and the exhaust. It's single pattern cam, and it's really, I mean, it's pretty big. It's way too big for this motor. It's 253 duration at 50 thousandths lift. So it's pretty gnarly. It's on a 110 lobe separation. It's, like I said, probably way too big for this motor, but it's gonna sound wicked, and it's gonna go crazy. Yeah, my hair's getting long, I understand. I'll probably be cutting it here in the next couple weeks because it's getting hot and I just don't want to do it again, but I'm gonna be rocking the 70s Molly Hatchet mullet for just a couple more weeks probably. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and get on this breathalyzer so you guys don't think I'm pulling your chain. This thing takes a while to fire up, so give me a second here. Survey says I'm in the clear. All right, so I'm gonna do something here that I haven't done before, and I want to try to get as most amount of comments on this video as I possibly can. So if you're watching this video, you have to do something here. You have to comment what your favorite drink is. I don't care if you drink alcohol or not. You can say, I don't know, sweet tea, 7-Up, doesn't matter. You also could say, you know, mojito or Jameson and 7, whatever it is. Just comment your favorite drink. You don't have to say anything else. Just put in your favorite drink. I'll see the username or whatever. And if you don't, we're gonna have problems. I might come find you at your house. Bad things are gonna happen. I probably won't, but I might. Yeah, I know it's a mess. Whatever. Get over it. Okay, so these lifters, as you can see, I've already started installing them. They were used, the motor blew up, it dropped a valve, it didn't have any kind of bearing problem or nothing. The lifters are freaking perfect. I mean, they look great. I checked them all out, but they've been sitting since 2015 when that motor blew up. Probably about 10 years ago exactly. Spring-ish or whatever. So what I'm doing is I'm getting all the old oil out of them right now. They're hydraulic lifters, which is kind of weird to be running in a stock car, but that's just what the guy built it with. So I'm getting all the old oil out of them by just putting a bolt in there and squeezing all the old oil out and getting them all dry and cleaned out. I don't know if there's any kind of debris in here or not. I doubt it, but I'm just gonna go ahead and be on the safe side and get all the old oil out, and then I'll install them just like that. All right, so all I'm doing now is I'm just gonna give them a little oil bath here, and gonna throw them in now. All right, and for anybody that's wondering, they are going in the exact same hole as they came out. I matched all the lifters to the cam when I pulled it all apart, and that feels great. But yeah, it's been sitting for 10 years, but I got them in this little box, and I know that's the front, and that's just the way they roll. So going back in the same lobe, shouldn't have any problems. Flat tappet cam, but I got the groove and the lifter bores to get a little bit extra oil onto the surface of the cam lobe and the lifter, so I think we're gonna be fine. All right, so I got all the lifters in, and they all feel really nice. I did do a little homework on all the lifter bores, make sure that everything was clearance and stuff. But they all feel real good, and I'm a real firm believer of if you're gonna reuse a lifter, especially if it's a flat type of lifter, it's got to go back in the same lobe that it came off of. That's just what I believe, and I've always used that kind of rule of thumb. I never had a problem. I've never once had a flat type of cam go flat, and I've raced some flat type of cams for a long time. So I think a lot of proof is in the pudding there. And I've said this before, this is not a race motor. I'm not building this thing to any kind of rule books, any kind of specs that I know of. And most of the rule books I know of that are for circle track stuff, they don't allow pop-up pistons to begin with. So anyways, like I said, it's not a race motor, but it could be a race motor. It just doesn't have a racing pan on it. So anyways, let's keep on going. All right, it's time for a little tune-up. Got the Jack and Ice. Just a little bit of Pepsi. No diabetes here. All right, guys, making my way over here to the cylinder heads now. And before I go any further, check it out. Boom! She's gone. Back to being bald. Couldn't do the hot weather with the mullet, so had to chop it. Anyways, I want to go over a little more in detail what's going on with these heads. I'll kind of explain everything, what's going on, like what casting number and what's happened to it since, you know, I started working on them. But right now, what I'm doing is I am pinning the rocker studs, because you guys know that this is a budget build, and you know, with this big old cam I've been talking to you guys about, we'll pull these suckers right out of the cylinder head, these, you know, factory pressed in rocker studs. So yeah, going to a screw-in style stud just takes a lot of time and money, goes in the machine shop and stuff, so this is the cheapest way to do it. It's actually my first time drilling and pinning rocker studs, but it's really easy, so I figured I'd just show you guys how easy it is. If you have a drill press, it's super easy. Just buy the kit. This is a Mr. Gasket kit, 806G, and people say, oh, you need to get a bunch of drill bits because they always break. This is the same drill bit I've been using. I already did one cylinder head already, so this is the second, you know, this is hole number 9 that I've drilled so far, and it's going pretty good. But it's like 30 bucks for this, which is way cheaper than buying screw-in studs, and then you have to get guide plates and machine shop work. So I'll show you how I do it real quick. I just put a couple bolts down here where the exhaust manifold go to kind of get this thing level enough to start drilling. And I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. You just drill through it and you hammer in the stud, or the pin here. It's so easy, even a caveman can do it. and it goes pretty quick. You don't got to put a lot of pressure, and it just bites and goes. If you haven't figured it out by now, after you drill it, you stick the roll pin in and freaking hammer it in. And it's locked into place, ain't never gonna pull out. All right, so I'm taking a little bit of break here from the motor work, and if you guys remember in the past, I started smoking meat, and I've done a couple ribs now, and this is, I think, my 3rd or 4th set, and just having a good Saturday, drinking a cold Busch Light as normal, and just gonna go ahead and walk you guys through. I already got one rack wrapped right there. All right, so I've had this guy sitting at about 200 degrees for about 2 hours with just the dry rub on it. Man, that looks good. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this camera down, bring that over there, and start lathering up with some good barbecue sauce. All right, so what I got for rub on here, I'm not exactly sure. Gonna have to ask Livy on that one what all's on there, but it's a lot of good stuff. After 2 hours at 200, this thing's sitting at about 145 degrees. These actually I got from Costco, and instead of 3, they're I believe they're baby back ribs, maybe St. Louis style ribs, I really don't know, but they're definitely pork ribs, I know that. So what I'm gonna do is just take whatever barbecue sauce I have, which is Bullseye, and some, I don't know, Huge's Smokehouse sugar-free, I don't know what that's about, maple brown barbecue sauce, and of course a little bit of my Cajun two-step. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that guy on with my little mop here, flip her over, and then add some butter. All right, so got the barbecue sauce on there. The first set of ribs I did, I think I documented it on this camera with you guys on Cherezian Racing, and they were not that good. They're a little bit dry, they weren't that tender. I did another round, got them a little bit better here, and then the last ones I did on my buddy's smoker, and he had an offset like Traeger type of smoker, and that one I just winged it. We had the thing rolling at like 275 degrees for like, I think it was only like 4 hours, and they turned out really good. And I was always using the same type of rub and the seasoning. The seasoning's always been really good, and barbecue sauce, you know, has always been really good on it. It's just I've had a hard time getting the texture right. Besides the last time, I guess the last 2 times were really good. So we'll see how this one turns out. So I hit it with the barbecue sauce like that first, and then just do a little sprinkle. This stuff is kind of salty, so I don't use a crap ton of it, but just a nice little sprinkle like that. Then I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side after I flip it, and then I'll show you when I'm adding the butter on there. All right, so I got some of this grass-fed Kirkland Costco special. I think this is salted butter. Anyways, I go pretty heavy on this stuff. More butter, more better, right? Do about 4 of these big old chunks on there, and let it sit like that with the meat side down, so it's kind of got a little pool right there, and then wrap her up. That's all I'm gonna do. All right, so if you care about your meat, you wrap it once. You really want to make sure there ain't no spillage. Wrap your meat twice. Nothing worse than poking a hole in this thing to check the temperature and leaking all your fluid out inside your smoker. Wrap your meat twice, baby. All right, I'll put these guys back in here, meat side down, and I got a probe on that side and a probe on this side just to check the overall temperature inside, just to verify. So I got this thing set at 275 now, and in here, well, a second ago it was around 300, so I can kind of monitor it, but I'll probably go like another 2 hours on this thing and pull them out and check the temp and see how they look. All right, been cooking at 275 for about another 2 hours. While we wait, we hydrate. They can still a cracker. But really the probe's been about 300 degrees, so I'm checking them out. I'm unwrapping them right now, and gonna go ahead and stick a probe in there, see where they're sitting at. I think they're just about done. I like them fall off the bone, so I like them a little extra done. Let's see where we're sitting at here. 196, 200, 206. All right, they're just about done. I'm gonna go ahead and flip them over so they're bone side down, and then cook them open, get a little bit of browning on them, and then maybe in a half hour from now pull them off, and they should be good. Let's see how the old pull is here. be a good tender rib. Got the mystery chicken right there, doing her thing. Okay, I've had this thing on for about 45 minutes now, with the tinfoil open, and I put a little more barbecue sauce on it to get a little better crust. And they looking good. So let me go ahead and pull them out and check the temp real quick on them. All right, well, I guess we've come down quite a bit on temp because she was sitting about 210, and now that I had this thing open, it's cooking at the same temperature of 275. They're down to 175, so I guess they're cooling down. I'm just gonna pull them off because I know they're done. I mean, this thing is tender. How fall off the bone they are.
Are these Jimmy ribs or whatever?
Nice. Excuse me, dudes.
What?
I need to
Wow. Jeez.
So Ryan, you just bought these. These are Tony Roma's, right?
No, these are Costco.
Did you boil them first and then smoke them?
No.
What are you doing, babe? Are you taking pictures of this?
I know Ryan wants her
Okay,
to.
thank you. All right, y'all. The ribs were good tonight. I'm not working on Frankenstein like I should be, but I got to burn this big old pile of wood here so I can sell my house and have people walk around the property and I look like a junkyard. So I'm having a nice cold Jack and Coke and do what I have to do. I know it's not racing related content, it's not motor building, but I got to get something out to you guys. So this is what I'm doing. A little bonfire, a little Jack and Coke, or in this case it's actually a little bit of Jimmy and Coke, but hey, Jimmy and Pepsi, not too bad. All right, let's get back to motor work, right? Enough BSing and barbecuing. It's time to put some cylinder heads here on Frankenstein. And it's a holiday weekend. I've been drinking beer all day, doing yard work and stuff, so I'm sure I'm above a 0.12 at this point, but just wanted to wish everybody a happy 4th of July out there. Hope everybody's being safe and thinking about 250 some odd years ago, July 2nd, 1776. Actually, was the day the Declaration of Independence was signed. Just wasn't finalized till the 4th. Little fun fact for you guys. But been drinking plenty of beer today, so let me make sure I'm well within the limits of this game we're playing here. Just throw the breathalyzer on myself real quick. Survey says, happy birthday, America. So about ready to put the head gaskets on here, and I'm not sure if I said it in the past or not, but these pistons are in the hole quite a bit, you know, a good bit in there. So technical number, it's like 30 thousandths in the hole. So I'm using a steel shim head gasket here. It's a Felpro 1094. It's a 15th thousandths thick gasket, like paper thin pretty much. And what I did is I modified a little bit. These two center holes where coolant goes through used to be that size right there. So I opened them up quite a bit, get a little more coolant flow through the hottest part of the cylinder head right here where your two exhaust valves are. But when I use these gaskets here, first of all, I put a good coat of copper on them first. And I always like to polish the deck if it hasn't been polished before, or decked, you know. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a little polisher on the cylinder head surface right there, and the deck surface here, and I use a little plastic. It's very, very, very gentle little wheel right here, and it really gives it a nice like shine and a very smooth surface for this guy to stick and hopefully give me the best chance of sealing, because these things are so thin. There's not really a lot of wiggle room there, and the best way to do it is to make sure the block is decked, but you know, I'm on a budget here, so I've done them like this before. Just gonna go ahead and polish it real quick and put the head gaskets and then cylinder heads on. Alright, so I finally got these heads back from my cylinder head guy who did some serious porting on them. The damn idiot took forever. I don't know what this deal is, but anyways, long story short is I got them here at the shop now, and just wanted to show you guys one other thing I did. Remember I showed you I just drilled those two holes for the coolant on the head gasket? Well, on the factory coolant passage here, they didn't have a provision for the left side hole for whatever reason, so I went ahead and I drilled that out on both heads. So I'm gonna blow it out right now and get it all clean, and then I'll go ahead and polish this deck. Alright, polish this side, didn't polish that side. You can tell a big old difference. It's working pretty good. The nice thing about this yellow little plastic deal is it's so soft that it really can't take any material off the cast iron. So you don't gotta worry about digging in or nothing. Aluminum, different story. Alright, so let's talk about these cylinder heads for a little bit. First, let me grab my beer. Where'd I put it? Where the hell did I put it? Ah! Alright, so these cylinder heads, these are the 487X cylinder heads, as you can see right there, but the casting number on them is actually different. They are 993 heads. So basically, as far as I know, when they cast these things, I think they cast them in two pieces, and this bottom half, the mold, is a 487X, and the top is a 993. It's the same casting. They're just different part numbers or casting numbers, but they're both the same pretty much diameter and everything. They're really good cylinder heads, about the best flowing stock cylinder head you can get, with the big open chamber here, and they have not been decked at all. I did put the straight edge across it, make sure it's flat. It's perfectly good to go, even for the shim head gasket, no problem. They're 194 inch intake and 1.5 exhaust valves, nothing crazy, just a really good port job by my guy. As you can see, he did some serious porting in there, busted through to the valve cover bolt holes, and their gasket match are a 1204, and right here on the push rod pinch are basically paper thin, so it's pushed out to the max. My guy spent a lot of time on this, and that's probably why, you know, it took me 4 months to get them back to me and into the garage here. But anyways, nonetheless, they're assembled, ready to go, and they got some K-liners in the valve guide, so should be good to go. And the exhaust ports are also ported out and not really polished that much, but just a little small polish in there. And they got the Z28 springs on there. They're just a single valve spring, a little more valve spring pressure than stock. It's like, I think it's about 130 on, or maybe 125 on the seat, and about 300 open. So it's got plenty of spring pressure even for the big cam, and they're ready to go. Got the head bolts here. I always use a little bit of RTV Ultra Gray on the threads as they go into the cooling passages in the block. And then on the head of the bolt, I just dip it in oil, just like that. A little windy out today. Alright, so what I do is I put a little head stud right here in the center, and it kind of helps guide the head onto the dowel pins here. And it also makes the head gasket easier to put on there. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab this gasket. That's all copper coated up, ready to go. Once you got it on, I take a little socket, deep socket here, and push these bad boys on. They don't get the copper all coming off with your finger. And I know you guys are liking my engine building apron from Starbucks. Coolest part is, it's got a little cup holder there for the old bush lights. All right. It also makes the head installation a whole lot easier when you got one stud in there. You just let it glide on, just like that. 1, 2. Hitting these head bolts in 3 steps, 75 foot-pounds. With my good old Craftsman torque wrench, baby. One-handed too, look at that. Oh baby, still in the clear. Good enough to drive a torque wrench. Okay, they're all torqued up. Cylinder heads are on, and now that they're all, kind of give you guys a little better shot of the porting here. If I can find my damn flashlight. Well, I got the Fleming Thunder Racing flashlight. Maybe that'll work. Yeah, I need a better one. Better angle. All right. There you go. There you can see the port job. A lot of material been removed, but material was removed where it matters. It just didn't get opened up to freaking eternity. So that's the intakes, and then show you the exhaust also. Quite a bit different than factory. So the next time I get on this camera and film anything on this Frankenstein motor, it should be a video that where I'm gonna be firing it up. So I'll be putting the intake manifold on and the accessories and putting it on my engine run stand and firing it up and see what the bald eagles sound like inside. Should be good. But I'm gonna end the video now. Pretty much, long block is done. So thank you guys for watching the Frankenstein build. Stay tuned for, I guess, part like 5 or whatever. Should be the final part. So until then, you guys remember, if it's bent, it ain't broken, and happy 4th of July.